Michelle Obama was trending recently because somebody had reposted one of her clips from a time past where she was saying that in her own marriage, well, at the time when she was in her marriage with her husband and before he became president, she felt that she was giving about 70% of herself. She had to slow down because her husband also had an ambition into politics, and he was giving about 30%. And then that clip went viral because people were now responding. Let me read to you a few of the responses that somebody had given. Somebody has said that that's a bad advice. According to this person, women should never put their career on a break or slow down for a man, or put 70% while he's putting 30%. Doesn't matter whatever the man turns out to be. Maybe if more men put a break on their own career for women, women will be ruling nations. The idea, therefore, is, would a man make that kind of sacrifice for his wife? That's one. Secondly, how do you know the kind of man to make such a sacrifice for? Because someone is saying that it's because it's Barack. If it was one Tom, Dick, and one guy like this, you go and slow down your career for him. You just find yourself in a different situation.
So, I've been reading Old Testament a lot, and it's shocking where women used to be in the past. You know, the little history that I did, it's shocking the way women are seen as commodities. We've come a long way as women. And sometimes when we look at things like this, some young people are feeling like, no, I'm not going to step back. People used to just grab a woman on the street and sleep with her, and it becomes wife or concubine. And that was a norm. Like, it was accepted as long as you wife her. It's okay. People used to knock on, like, there were strange things that were happening, and it was the normal thing. Daughters were, you are owing somebody money, you say, take my daughter. You know, this man is so kind to me. You're a good man. Take my daughter. As in, women were seen as commodities. They were given away. They were collected. They were fought for. They were bought. We have come a long way, and we still have a long way to go. We're not there yet. This comment, for me, Michelle did an amazing thing, and she didn't do it just for Barack. She did it for her children, because the book tour she's doing is about the journey of motherhood, raising good children. Many women nowadays are in a hurry to become governors, presidents, super successful, and they are not raising their children anymore. And you don't have children that are wondering, do my parents love me? And my parents, am I okay?
When we started, I was so sure of what, my response was going to be. But, that's the thing about listening to other people's opinion. I didn't see it from that way. I just thought, yes, men should also look at it in such a way that they should step back sometimes for the woman to push ahead. We don't have enough of that. We don't see enough of that. Society doesn't even expect it of them, that they would step back so that the woman who is thriving would even do better. And sometimes, it's also to the detriment of the family. He's not doing even so well himself, but would rather everybody, I'm not doing well, madam stay at home, children, we're not, So, and it's because we do not ask of them enough. But also, it's because men have been told over time, I hear it over and over again, that this is how they describe themselves, as the providers. And so, if they're unable, they have to be able to provide for the family. If they're asked to stay at home or scale back on their own career, that means they have failed. They have failed the family, they failed the wife, and they failed manhood, But it's important that we make that the sacrifices are seen to be, that can be done both ways. That a man should be able to look at a situation and think, you know what, I think where we're headed right now, where you stand right now, go ahead. It should not be a competition. So I'm not pushing for women, no, this is our time, we will not step back. It's a conversation of teamwork.
Because it was Michelle's account, nobody heard what Barack sacrificed or compromised for her. So let's read Barack's account. Because he eventually became president, we might just think he never did have to compromise anything. We don't know how he started and at what stage the compromises were made. As much as women sacrifice and compromise for their relationships, men also do more. We just need to sit with them and assess their own account of what their sacrifices were. And you'll be shocked. I had a friend who gave birth, and I went to visit her. And I was like, it will take you 3 months, so people must do 3 months. She was like, no, I'm starting my business next month. Like, what will happen to the baby? My husband. And true to God, I saw it, not that they told me. He stayed with that baby for 6 months straight. she would express milk. He stayed home.
In Nigeria?
In my very before. I know this couple very well. I'm sure that what you be like, Nima has brought our story out here. He did that for his family. And I used to just, myself and other women would gossip like, if our husband can just be like this man. Like those that cannot even tie ordinary diaper. They cannot even fetch ordinary water. You know, we used to say that. And that couple, people abused that man. Some people called him woman rapper and all sorts because they saw him at all. Sure. But he did what he needed to do. And the wife is a high flyer businesswoman. She managed their business till the baby was good. And then he went to join her. And
men have been burnt that way where they allow their wives to go fly that high. And
so
then
we're talking about human beings.
Yes.
When you see people born, people for being there for them, they are ingrates, human, and it can be across gender. In a marriage, it can be man, it can be woman, anybody can be born in anybody.
You shouldn't genderize this, yeah.
It's not about gender. It can be any ingrate in any gender. You take your time, you give all you want to give to any person, even mothers, even siblings. It happens. And we don't talk about it that way. But when it becomes a woman, and what even makes it wrong? I personally, for instance, would sit when I want to assess my mothering my children and being a parent. I don't put my husband in the picture. I always put myself alone. Every decision I take, how it affects my kids. I don't even see my husband in the picture as somebody who comes in. I don't put him.
So you have no expectations in that?
I don't. When he does it, I seriously do appreciate it. But whenever I assess how my kids turn out, I don't share that responsibility with anybody. I ask God for these children. I birth them. I don't share it with anyone. Anybody who assists me as a support system, God bless you. That's the way I see it.